Is it live? There it is. Right? Maybe. Maybe.
Okay, now everybody can hear me too. They could hear you before, but
Hi. Hello.
hey everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Welcome. Can you guys hear? Hello, Mellow Sky. What's up, Adam? Hi, Game Slayer. Hi, CTK. How are you? Johnny. Hi. How are you? How's everybody doing? Photo Guy, Electric Milk, Bryce, Eskimo. First time chat. I'm a cool dude. Well, cool dude, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Welcome.
Johnny, what's up? Gaming Wizard, Elmo Daddy, Tommy Gun, Skatoma, Total Trek, there he is. The Muerto. And I'm a cool dude. How are you? All right, so welcome everybody. This is a new episode of the SideQuest video cast. Is that what this is now?
I don't
Video cast, basically. Yeah.
if you want to call it a video cast, I guess.
I
It's kind
mean,
of weird,
it's not
isn't it?
really a podcast, right?
I mean, I'd rather just call it a show at that point if we're gonna
Sure,
do
yeah,
that.
we're a show. Welcome to the weekly episode of SideQuest Strategies. This is where Devin and I get together on the Twitch channel here for about an hour, and we just talk about content creation. Because both of us have journeyed down this path long and hard now and learned lots of things, and we're here to share all of that information with anybody who wants to. Legit, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate you, man. Also, legit, real quick, side quest here. You won the bucket hat. I just want you to know that. You won the bucket hat on Sunday. I don't know if you knew, if you caught up with everything, but mushroom bucket hat belongs to you. So Undisputed Frost, thank you so much. Anyways, yeah, we get together here, we talk about content because we're so very passionate about it, if you haven't noticed. And we also have a private Discord. How would you describe that? I'm not very good at the Discords. I'll let you handle that part.
It's a really, really fun community, content creation community, people that are trying to do the same thing, have some fun, create some content, try to fix their white balance. And just, everybody has different goals in content, but we're just trying to help people get there because like Chris was mentioning before, we've both done a lot in the content creation world, a lot of different things, and it's been really fun being able to just share some of
What's up,
that,
Bubba?
share some of that experience with people
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, anybody can do this, and being able, if this is what you want to do, it's really cool.
Yeah, and to second that, it is having learned everything that I've learned. It is actually a lot of fun for us to share this information because a lot of the stuff that I have learned, I would say about half the stuff that I have learned just came from trial and error of me just being a overly creative and just trying a bunch of stuff. Some of it unsuccessfully, and some of it pretty wasteful and time wasting. And then the other half of that stuff that I've learned actually came from working with Devin, because I was going to say I still sort of know nothing about the back end of content creation as far as algorithms go. I mean, I sort of half joke, like I have a pretty good understanding, but I focus solely on the creative stuff. And that's just what I love doing. I love making videos. I love conceptualizing. I like thinking about that sort of stuff. I like talking about all the weird factoids that you may not know. And I just sort of ignored all of the signage that I probably should have been paying attention to as I was on my journey to. I just got a notification actually from vidIQ. Congratulations, you've reached 3,500 uploads.
Wow.
So on my journey to, and that's on YouTube. I started YouTube about a year later. So 3,500 videos so far is what I've made on YouTube. Probably closer to 4,500 videos on Instagram. And had I paid a little closer attention to some of the metrics in some of those videos, then I would have known, after the first couple times I tried this one thing or whatever, that like, oh, this is the reason it's sort of not working. And I could have, avoided making 15 more of those videos.
Yeah.
Really good example recently is I've put a lot more effort into long form video. I like the storytelling aspect of long form, and I've really tried to double down on that. And they're doing pretty well. I'd say, like, for somebody who's not known as a long form content creator, the videos have started to do a little bit better. And so I sent them over to Devin the other day, or was just like, hey, check these out and let me know what you think of the packaging and stuff. And I'm like dead focused on packaging at the moment. I want to really learn how to make what makes a great thumbnail and what makes a great title. And even better, I want to learn what makes a great thumbnail and a great title pairing, because that's way more important than just having one or the other. You can have you can have the world's best thumbnail, and if you title it wrong, it doesn't matter. Or vice versa. You could have the most catchy title, and if the thumbnail doesn't convey or it doesn't pay off in the beginning of that video, it's sort of worthless. So having two really good pieces and then being able to have them be one in unison is very important. So I've been playing a lot with that, right? And I'm like, I sent it to Devin, and I'm like, hey, sorry, I just ate, so I'm burping a lot. Not that I don't usually burp.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's normal. We're used to it.
Yeah. So what's up, Rob the Slob? Hey, Michelle, how are you? Yeah, I was like, can you check this out and let me know what you think? And the first thing, he starts sending me graphs of like, where the retention falls off on the video, and it's always the last like 3 minutes. And I'm like, oh, so it's losing retention at the end of the video drastically. It's not like it's this, it's like this, and then the last 3 minutes is like, and I'm like, what? But that's when I sign off. And it's like, well, maybe don't sign off then. Just, cut it. And I'm like, and then, I start realizing that, like, if the last 3 minutes, the video's 15 minutes, 10 minutes even, and the last 2 or 3 minutes of the video, 90% of the people fall off, then it shortens my retention by that much. And the retention is how Google and YouTube know how to feed it to more people.
Yeah. That
and
average
if
view duration is one of the
yes,
highest, one of the things that YouTube pays the most attention to as far as like metrics to.
yes.
So it's a huge one.
And I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm like, wow, what if the views on this particular video, in this case it was a Nintendo 64 video, what if the views could be double what they are because YouTube just serves it to more people, or Google serves it to more people? And what if they serve it to more people by, like view duration or retention being higher, even if it's 10% higher, like it's a lot. That sort of thing makes a lot of sense, but it's also not something I'm paying attention to. I'm just like trying to make a fun video, and now I'm like trying to make a fun video that has a fun thumbnail and a fun title. I'm not really thinking about the other stuff. And so I shot a long form video yesterday that I'll probably post on Sunday of this week. And I tried something very different for the end of it. So I'm very curious to see how
Good.
it works.
Good.
Yeah.
And I think really when it comes to stuff like this, there's literally thousands and thousands. There's a list of 10,000 things that if you can do each and every one of those 10,000 things right, you're gonna have a 10 million view video, right? But almost nobody is getting all of those, right? That's the reason that Mr. Beast gets consistently as many views as he does. It's because he's got team of hundreds and hundreds of people that each have their things on this
Mm-hmm.
list of like 10,000 things that they're worried about, and they're spending that time and money to get every single one of those things right.
Yeah.
And really what it comes down to when you're a smaller creator is you need to start picking and trying to figure out like which of those things are the most important, are going to make the biggest impact for my videos, and you
Mm-hmm.
pick like one of them and you do it a couple of times. You really focus in on that for a couple of videos, and then all of a sudden it becomes a habit, and then you start doing it just naturally, right? And
Yeah.
then you move on to the next one.
Well, and like what's funny is I started running A/B tests on thumbnails and titles. Which what I should do is after like a week of running these tests, um, I think I'm going to take screenshots and post them in the SideQuest
Mm.
Discord
Yeah.
so people can see where my tests land.
Mhm.
Because in some cases, like the newest video, which is which one was it? Oh, the top 10 most valuable PlayStation 2 games. Um, I ran a thumbnail A/B test. And the only difference between the two thumbnails was the color of the background. One's white and one's orange. And as you know, orange is my channel colors, right? But orange is also a very like
Mm.
exact same thumbnail other than that.
Mhm.
And obviously one of them is coming out on top. So it's like, it's like it starts to make more sense. I run that test and then I go, okay, so from now on, I'm not going to use a white background. I'm going to use the classic Topher orange background, like a burnt orange with like a gradient a little bit. And then little things like Matt, editor Matt, not Matt that I play with, Matt. uh, him and he makes he designs, helps me design, and he's the one actually making the thumbnails for the videos. And I felt so petty this evening, pointing out the things that I was asking him to change. Right? Like we had these thumbnails that he sent me, and it
Yeah.
was like, he's like, "What do you think of this one, this one, this one?" And I'm like, I like this one the best. This is the one. I'm gonna get real picky here for a second because
Mhm.
I'm a fucking artsy fartsy guy. But what if the 2026 and the 1999 that are underneath there? What if those were just like shrunk just by like 10%? Bring the size down a little
Mm.
bit, and then on this text over here, just give it a little bit of a glow. And then on my face, because I'm doing this thing with cartridges in my
Mm.
hands, um, bring the contrast up just a hair, just a little bit. But luckily, he's like an absolute freak about trying to learn the
Oh yeah.
algorithm
Oh
too. So
yeah.
he's
He
like,
loves
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
let's try that. He always says the same thing when I request these stupid little like notice. He's always like, I got you. I got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, thank you. I appreciate you humoring me on
Yeah.
something stupid and so small. But if if a little tiny change like
Mhm.
that makes even a percentage of a difference,
Yeah.
that could be the difference between a video that does 10,000 views and 100,000 views.
Mhm. 100%.
Just something so stupid and simple
Yeah.
like that. And I think a lot of people don't
Yeah.
realize that.
Well, and yeah, I mean the thumbnail, when you're talking about the packaging, that title and thumbnail, that's the first impression. That has to sell somebody on a video. It's a really really big piece of that puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
I always
Yeah.
liken it to a funnel, and I'm sure I've told you that analogy before, but especially YouTube is just a giant funnel of people, right? Just like a sales funnel. I'm sure most people are familiar with. You got to get leads and you got to get people into your sales funnel. The YouTube view funnel starts with your title and thumbnail, and people see that title and thumbnail, and if it's not good, they're not clicking in, they're not getting into that funnel. They're not getting, you're not getting any of those views. So
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I really want to point this out while we're having this conversation, because I think it's really important for people to understand this, or at least to have this notion in your head. If you're just starting making content, so like for instance, Total Trek, this is probably some advice for you too. Um, Thanks, Mad Hatter. My wife did it. Uh, this is all stuff that you should not be worried about in the beginning. This is the sort of we're in the weeds right now, but this is the sort of stuff that can totally give you, um, like analysis paralysis. Only start thinking about this stuff when you've mastered actually making a video. It's my advice. I'm sure everybody would give you slightly different advice, but like, get good at the repetitive nature of what you do and think about this sort of stuff. I'm not saying it's not important. Think about this sort of stuff, but like, really start thinking about it once all the other stuff, once you're able to conceptualize, shoot, edit, and post like videos all the time, because you're going to trip yourself up on learning the process of making videos if you start thinking about all of this other shit. Because there were times earlier in my content creation journey where I went down the rabbit hole of like Mr. Beast videos where he starts giving this sort of advice. And I'm just like, I'm sitting here still like trying to figure out my workflow of editing and
mhm.
how many times I should post a day and all this other stuff. Like, all of a sudden I'm watching these Mr. Beast videos and he's giving this advice and it starts to feel like, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm never gonna be able to do this. He's thinking of a million different things and I can't even make a goddamn video and post it to the internet without like ripping my hair out. So just a little warning, if this is something that you're getting into right now, um, it's something to keep in mind. Obviously, it's an important factor,
Mhm.
but it's way more important than that. Just making the video,
Yeah.
like just repetition.
And I always told people too, like, especially so early on, again, when you're starting, if you're in your first year of creating content and things like that, a lot of this can also just come down to personal preference. Like, what
Exactly, John
what
Smith.
what do you want to do? If you want to really focus in on making the best thumbnails possible for your YouTube videos, like that's just what you want to do, like go for it. Like make the best
Hmm.
thumbnails possible, right? Yeah, if you are just wanting to really buckle down and get the editing of your videos figured out and that kind of thing, go for it. At the end of the day, for the most part, this is it's a hobby until you want it to become your job. And so I mean, if you
Hmm.
want it to become your job, the quicker that you can do all these things, the better. But um until it gets to that point, you're better off having fun with it,
Hmm.
and enjoying this whole process than focusing in on something that a creator guru tells you that this is the most important thing, so you need to do this.
Right.
That's how
I,
you burn
I sort
yourself
of
out.
I was just gonna say that is the quickest path to burnout,
Yeah.
and I sort of liken it to like golf, right? Or any other sport,
Yeah.
baseball or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you sort of have to learn how to hold the club before you can like
Sure.
hit a 300-yard drive.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't understand the grip of a golf club,
Mhm.
you're not going to be able to make that chip. You're
Yeah.
not going to be able to hit that long drive. You're not going to be able to do all this other stuff. I mean, maybe once in a blue moon you'll have a Happy Gilmore that just
Yeah.
runs up and fucking smacks it. Sure, that happens, but not to everyone.
Yeah.
So it's very important to understand, like, do the reps, and then you can sort of get into the weeds on, and maybe, like you said, maybe you find out that thumbnail design is something that you really, really enjoy. Like
Hmm.
maybe that's the best thing. That is what you're best at,
Yeah.
which would be awesome. I'm learning now that I'm actually focused on it. Like, go back and watch some of my early long form videos and look at the thumbs that I was using and look at the titles I was using. You look at some of those, and I go back and I look at them and I'm like, the hell was I thinking?
Yep.
Like, oh my god. And now that I'm in the weeds and doing that, um, I'm finding that, like, I'm really enjoying it. I'm sure editor Matt's probably just like, fuck, God, I just want to pull my hair
Uh,
out. But yeah, it's. I don't even think that was the topic of tonight's show, and somehow we got on it, and it felt right.
yep. I mean, kind of. We were gonna be talking about just not following, creator guru advice.
Yeah.
Sometimes the same. Sometimes the advice from the biggest creators out there isn't always the best. Sometimes
Hmm.
listening to Mr. Beast talk about different things isn't always the best advice, especially for people that are just starting out. So.
Yeah. It's I was like kind of going down the notes of tonight's
Hmm.
show a little bit, and it is the advice that I give for this is interesting because it's very anti-advice.
Yeah.
Um, when somebody gives you advice, especially when you ask for advice, um, don't take it. Like, do the opposite. Do whatever it is that, like, your brain is telling you should do,
Mm.
even if that means you're going to find out that it doesn't work and that you fail, because then that, like, exercises that thing
Mm.
and
Yeah.
gets it out, and you're like, all right, well, that didn't work.
Yep.
Or maybe you find out that it did work, and, like, you know I reposted. God, speaking of Mr. Beast, like, of course, now I'm gonna say I reposted this Mr. Beast video. This is just total coincidence,
Yeah.
as we
Yeah. Yeah.
sit here and say,
Sure.
don't listen to Mr. Beast videos. But I reposted a Mr. Beast video
Yeah.
yesterday on my Instagram stories because it did really stick with me.
Hmm.
And it was basically him just saying, like, everyone thinks you're insane until you're a success.
Yep.
And then you're a genius. But until that moment, everyone's like, you're doing it wrong. You're insane. Why would you do that? Why would you post 4 videos a day? Why would you not take a break? Why would
Why would you
you,
read the
like,
entire dictionary in a video?
yeah. Like, why would you do that? Everybody's like, you're an idiot for doing that. But then the second you're successful doing it, then you're a genius, and that's when you
Hmm.
become, like, you know, and this isn't original Mr. Beast advice. I'm pretty sure that
Probably not.
Isaac Newton and there's so many other people who have given this advice,
Yeah.
where it's like, Einstein. There were plenty of times when Albert Einstein was told he was a complete fucking wackadoodle for thinking the things that he thought, until
Yeah.
turns out he's right.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like, oh shit, he's a visionary. It's revolutionary.
Yep.
And that's just sort of, it's just sort of how it works.
Yeah.
What else were we going to talk about tonight? It was that sort of stuff, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I had a bunch of like examples of super common, advice that all the gurus give that, I figured we could talk about. So I don't know if we want to do that. I don't know if people have questions. I'd love to hear about what like other advice everybody else has heard, and we could talk about that advice and see what see what we think about that.
Yeah, I mean, we should probably throw that out there. Anybody who watches these Thursday streams or is here on the Thursday streams, like if this is something that's up your alley and we're talking about something that interests you, or we're talking about like a point that you are at in your journey or whatever, feel free to ask questions. Like, I'm always happy to stop and ask questions. I don't we don't necessarily have to have one of those moments in every show where it's like, all right, we're done talking. Now, does anybody have any questions? Like, just fucking barge in
Yeah.
there. Raise that hand up if you have any questions during the process of what we're talking about. So, yeah, just wanted to throw
Yeah.
that out there.
And one of the other things that I did want to say is that, one of the reasons I kind of wanted to talk about this topic in particular is just to kind of bring up about the idea that there's not really a one size fits all kind of advice for people creating content for a creative activity, a creative hobby, for something as wild and open and brand new and changing every second of the day as the internet and social media and these algorithms. There's just no such thing as like one size fits all advice. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of one of the things that I wanted to, just bring about with this whole conversation is that most of the time, this advice is good advice in certain situations if you use it properly, if you're at a certain stage of your career, if you are, XYZ applies, then it's good advice. It's good advice for
Mm-hmm.
somebody, but that doesn't mean it's good advice for everybody.
Yeah.
um, and you can do the same thing by looking at other creators, right? A lot of people look at other creators and say, I want to be that person. I want to do what they're doing. Um, you look at people like Mr. Beast, and I'm just going to do exactly what he does. Why am I not as successful as him? Well, because he's doing something that works for him, not necessarily that works for you. So I think there's
Yeah.
a lot of differences there.
See, there's a secret sauce, right? And
Yeah.
most of the time, almost all the time, the secret sauce is usually like the person.
Yeah.
I always joke about, when Ryan and I talk from Fire and Ice about business and that sort of stuff. That's one of the things where it's like, I'm always like, you do realize that Fire and Ice, like under the control of any other person, would not be successful.
Yeah.
Like, Fire and Ice isn't successful because it's a game store. Fire and Ice is successful because it's Ryan.
Yeah.
Like, it's Ryan's thing. So
I see that we had
it's
Mark join us here, but you kind of ruined our video, Mark.
uh-oh. What's it look like now?
We're all off center because I'm doing a display capture.
Do you want me to jump out?
Without completely redoing our cameras for the stream, I might.
No,
I might
I'll
have
jump
to.
out. I thought we were chatting. It's all good.
We'll be chatting in like 20, 30 minutes.
Done. I'll see if I jump in. All right,
Yeah, we're still on the stream. See you later.
You're fine. Enjoy.
All right.
Oh, I see what happened.
Yep. All right. We're back.
Yeah. So yeah, like that's sort of the interesting bit, is a lot of people don't realize that. Don't get me wrong, like probably more than half of my time is spent modeling. And I don't mean like the runway and doing like, I'm talking about like looking at the people that I admire and what they're doing, and taking everything that all of them are doing, putting it into this big like, mix of machine, and seeing what the similarities are, because success leaves trails. And when you can pick those sorts of things out and you go like, oh, well, here's 5 creators that I really enjoy, and here's 5 things that all of them do. And you go, oh, okay. So it's not necessarily looking at like, oh, they made a video about this topic, so I should. It's more of like, they did this thing that where like in the beginning of the video, all 5 of these videos are my favorite videos, and they all have a cold open or whatever, and it's like, well, maybe I should try and do that because, that's the one of the few things that all of these things have in common. There's actually a book by Tim Ferriss. I believe Tim Ferriss wrote the book called Tools of Titans. I don't know if you've ever read Tools of Titans.
Okay.
But do you know who Tim Ferriss is?
Yeah, familiar.
So he's got a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
really, really good podcast where he just has people on, and it's basically he just talks about modeling, right? So he'll have people like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Mr. Beast or whoever, Joe Rogan, anybody who is like at the top of their game in what they're doing or has been like a world class performer, whether it be an athlete or whatever. And he has them on and he talks about their routines. And whether that be what do you do before you go to bed? How do you sleep? What's the first thing you do when you wake up? What do you eat? What is your workout routine? And and then he builds these like, so he's been doing this for years, and he finally put together a book called Tools of Titans, and it's like this fucking thick. It's like a Bible. Yeah. And all it is excerpts from every one of the interviews that he's ever done, where it's a high class performer talking about the things that has helped make them successful. That book was like life-changing for me when I read that. And what was even cooler is if you're not a book person like me, there's an audio book. And the audiobook actually consists of Tim reading the parts that he wrote, and then the clip from the interview from that podcast of the actual person talking about what it is that he wrote about in the book. So it's very cool. And I think that things like that. So I watch, usually on my way to work, I watch. Don't watch videos and drive, guys. But I listen to, I turn on a video on YouTube and just like kind of like halfway watch listen on my way in. And it's usually something, it'll usually be, recently it's been like Sambucha videos. So I can just kind of get like a vibe for what it is that he's doing. Sometimes I'll put on like a Mr. Beast video or something, just to, not because I'm like a huge fan or anything, or I necessarily watch them, is I'm looking for all the little like the hints of success there and similarity. So you can go like, here's all the different things. And I ran across this video today from somebody that I've never heard of, because truth be told, I don't think I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 people on YouTube do I actually subscribe to. And it was, I could probably pull it up in my history because it caught my attention. It clearly had a good enough title,
okay,
and a good enough thumb to make me go, okay, let's check this out.
Yeah.
And the title was The Best Games to Grow on Twitch in 2026.
Okay.
It is my personal opinion, as somebody who uses Twitch, that it doesn't matter what you play on Twitch. What matters is people enjoy watching you. So the reason I clicked into this video was because I wanted to know what the hell he was talking about.
Sure.
And I'm watching this video, and he's going down this whole, like, if you're just starting on Twitch, this is the best way to get discovered. And like discovery. And like my brain's going like, well, fucking there is no discovery on Twitch. Like you can't get discovered. Like the homepage or any of the pages, whether you're going to like a game or not, is always just going to be the biggest creators at the top. Anybody who has less than like 4,000 concurrent viewers ain't gonna be there. So it doesn't really matter. It's a game of like who's on top.
Yeah.
That's it. There's not really an algorithm on Twitch. There's not any discovery on Twitch. It's not like, I mean, I don't think at least they have. You found me on Twitch? No, you didn't. You found me on YouTube or something. I mean, don't get me wrong. It happens periodically. But as far as discovery on something like YouTube or an Instagram or a TikTok or something, it's very different. It is not built.
Yeah.
That platform was not built for discovery.
No.
And he was talking about how to find the right game to get you in the right place to get discovered. And I'm thinking, I have to watch this shit because this is a lie. This is bullshit, you know? And he's talking about finding the game that has, you know, the largest follow count, but the smallest streamer views, or he's going down this thing of like, and then that's the game that you just want to commit to for 3 months. And I'm like, fuck, playing the same game for 3 months on Twitch would make me want to take a toaster bath, you know? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of creators out there that do it. Like, my wife watches Happy, who's a super awesome gal, and she plays Fortnite every single day. So, and it works for her. But at the same time, she's clearly having fun doing what she's doing.
Yeah.
My personality isn't that. My personality is like, I'm going to play 2 matches of Fortnite before I get rage out quit, and then I'm going to go to something else. And then the next time, I'm going to like probably play something cozy. I'm going to play Bellrite, or I'm going to hop into Arc Raiders, or like, I mean, you guys know, you've been here long enough that you've watched me go through Marvel Rivals and Fortnite and these other games where I'm just like, I'm sorry guys if you're enjoying watching this game, but god damn it, I have to play something that's going to make me happy. And that was when I had this realization that, and Matt, not editor Matt, but streamer Matt, him and I had this conversation before where he had sort of originally built his channel based on playing a certain style of game, which is a competitive shooter, and built it on like, well, people like to come and watch him pop heads in Fortnite because that's what he's good. You know, he's really good at that. But then, you know, he kind of came to this realization after doing it for long enough. He's just like, well, I just sort of want to play something else that's gonna like be fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
And when he switched, his stream count like fucking tanked, you know, cut in half. And that was when he had this like, oh shit moment of like, shit, I think maybe I built this wrong. And so my point is, what this person's saying in the video, there is fact to it.
Yeah.
There is certainly, if you want to build a following fast, or as fast as possible, finding the one game and just sticking with it, thanks Irish Cross for the sub, is probably the fastest way to do that. But I wasn't looking to build a community based on a game.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to be known as the Skyrim guy or the Fortnite guy or the Zelda guy.
And most
I wanted to be known as like
unless they've already been
right
it for 10 years.
Nobody, I mean, don't get me wrong. Sure, I'm sure there's a few people out there that are just like, man, I could play Fortnite for the rest of my life and I would be happy. And so if that's the case,
year 18 of playing League of Legends, so
you could be like the League of Legends streamer, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to build a community based around like people who just enjoyed watching me play games, or enjoyed watching me enjoy myself, which then in turn makes them enjoy themselves. That's the kind of community that I was looking to build. And to Trek's question from like week before last, when he asked me about having, how do you think you built such a like awesome community on Twitch with people who come in and watch? And I think that's part of the reasoning as to why is because like I really have tried to stay very truly authentic to me and myself. And obviously I co-stream, I have my wife with me. And so I care about what she wants to do also. So sometimes you'll see us playing games that maybe I don't enjoy because she enjoys them. This is give and take in a marriage, friends.
Yeah.
But like, I just want to do the things that are fun. I like hanging out with you guys. So it doesn't really matter what I'm playing. I'm not necessarily here to like show off my skills in Fortnite. I'm here to just hang out
nobody
for a
would be
few
watching
hours.
you for that. That's for sure.
No, well, I mean, let's make it very clear. I'm kind of a fucking prodigy when it comes to Fortnite. I get it.
let's just say,
but
we know how old you are when you play Fortnite.
Yeah, that's for sure. Jeez, somebody made a comment. I can't remember. I don't know where it was. I can only play Fortnite 4 times a week. You were big on Fortnite until they messed up my son's account. That has nothing. Truly, they did mess up my son's account, but they were very cool about giving it back. They broke a lot of rules to give that back. So it actually, it took a month almost of that account being down. But truth be told, like, no, it really wasn't like me not enjoying Fortnite as much has nothing to do with the fact that like his account was all clusterfucked for a month. That really doesn't. I hope people really don't think that. Because it really doesn't. What it came down to was I enjoyed Fortnite then much more because I was playing with my boys and my wife. It was the four of us playing, and that is at the core when I enjoy Fortnite. I really started to drop off of Fortnite when my boys dropped off of Fortnite because it wasn't family Fortnite anymore. I mean, you guys remember this used to be family Fortnite that we played. And once the boys sort of like moved on from Fortnite, and don't get me wrong, they still play periodically, but like once they sort of moved on and started playing other things, and it was just Mel and I, and no offense, like I love playing with the community and I love playing with you guys. It just sort of lost its thing, and that was when I realized like, most of Fortnite for me was the camaraderie that I was building with my two boys and my wife. So it's I just wanted to clarify that. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with that. This isn't like a stance that I've made where it's just like Fortnite fucked me, I'm fucking them. It's nothing like that. So yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm hanging out watching regardless of what you play. See, and that's what I'm talking about. I love that. Also, Michelle, what's that supposed to mean? Huh? Are you saying I'm not good at Fortnite? I will have you guys know, when I'm not streaming, I'm pretty good at Fortnite.
Okay.
I am pretty good at Fortnite. Ask my wife. When I'm not streaming, I'm pretty good. The second I start streaming though, like I feel like I have to like entertain and like talk, and I can't really get into it, and then all of a sudden like I'm more interested in talking with you guys than I am playing the game. I guess that's probably why I like the cozy game stuff more, because I just I could kind of cruise.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to reach chat for sure.
Yeah, which is fun. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. I don't know. I enjoy the diversity of games. It gets me to check stuff out. Yeah, and that, truth be told, that's why I started the Twitch channel to begin with, is because my life had a real serious lack of like fun time. Not fun time, but like playtime. And by playtime, I mean actually playing games. Like I just wasn't able to do it that often anymore because I'm making videos all the time. So, the fix to that was like, well, why don't I mix the two? Why don't I make playtime, like video time too. So
all right.
You're more impressed by the random name calling? I shall have you guys know. Hopefully nobody from like Disney's watching the stream, but I shall have you guys know some of the foul language that I used may have cost me. But I don't really care. I mean, I do, but I don't. You know, I like authentically being me, and you know, let's just say, you know, maybe the clips of the fishnet monster may have scared Disney a little bit. I'm just saying, you know, whatever. It is what it is.
It is what it is. What are you gonna do about it? Oh man. All right.
That's what happens when you work with big brands and they're like, we're gonna audit your account, okay? And I'm like, sure. And then I was like, well, hang on. That happened with Nintendo one time. I was like,
man.
Nintendo's gonna audit your account. I'm like, oh no, wait
a second.
As I'm wearing the Mickey hoodie. Look, I still love Disney. It just turns out when
they don't love you.
Yeah, when you say like super, you know, like it just you go back. Well, I guess don't go back and watch the Fishnet Monster video because it's currently delisted.
You have to be a part of the Discord to get that one now.
Yeah. Look, all right. I really, really wanted to partner up for that Disney game. I'm just saying. But I'm trying to be as authentic as possible, you know?
Yep. All right. Well, I don't know if anybody else has any other questions in chat. Do you have, I was going to ask, so a lot of times people will end this kind of stuff with like, okay, what's your one last piece of advice, you know, for everybody? But since we're kind of trying to debunk a little bit of the advice from gurus at this point, what's your least favorite piece of advice that you've heard from gurus?
Oh, that's a really good question. Man, there's so many that are going through my head.
There's a lot of them, right?
Yeah. Well, and I have like lamented to you about quite a few of them.
Yeah, for sure.
I think one of the things that bothers me the most, and this, I guess this is sort of advice, is when a creator, especially when it's a creator that is like a big creator, or I guess I should say a successful creator, doesn't understand what it is that made them. I think that bothers me a little bit. I think it was totally taken out of context, but I watched a video of actually clips from this show could totally be taken out of context. I watched a pretty large streamer at one point make comments about just sort of like being lucky, being at the right place at the right time kind of thing.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like, you don't understand what has made you successful. And that's a real bummer, because that means then your success is limited, because you don't understand. Like you can't walk through life thinking you're lucky when things happen for you. Like things happen because you do a thing, right? And you have to understand, if you want to repeat that success, you have to know what that thing is that you did and what made it successful. And a real successful person, or a person who like wants to understand, the long form video that I shot yesterday touches on this a lot, because I'm very passionate about this. It is always being curious. Like, just stay as fucking curious as possible. Like, question everything. And I don't mean like in a mean manner or anything like that, but just like, if you had success, question it. Why was it successful? What was it that you did that made you successful? If you failed, more importantly than success, because the failures are far more valuable than the successes. And I promise you, like, because people tell me a lot, they're just like, well, you're lucky, lucky you, lucky that so and so, this company sent you this, or lucky that lucky creator. And it's like, no, I'm not lucky. I've just failed more times than you've tried. That's really what it comes down to. And I've assessed all of my failures. So assess that stuff and just be very curious. Be very curious of the things that have made you, the failures and the successes. And if you get curious about things, you all of a sudden start to get that sense of like, wow, I still have so much to learn. And the person, so just to give you a little hint of the long form video that I shot and that's coming on Sunday, it's that video I was talking about where I talk about the games that I've never played. And it's just it's like 8 games, very popular games that I've actually never played. And I felt like that was a really important video for me to make because so much of not just this industry, the video game industry, the industry of collecting, the retro game community, but outside of that, it could be anything. Football, it could be sports, it could be anything. So much of that feels like it's hinged on the idea that you must know everything about your craft. You must know everything. So like in order for you to take me seriously as a retro game enthusiast, I have to have played every single game. And once I haven't played that one game or whatever, in this case, it's a pretty big popular game franchise that I haven't played. Like in that case, then that somehow like discredits me and devalues my opinion of sorts. And so it's such a weird thing. And so we as human beings, as creatures, we have this tendency to sort of just like go like, oh yeah, I love that game, yeah. And I've caught myself doing it, when I was younger, especially when the conversation comes up. No, it's not Pokemon. I've already played those now. I caught all kinds of shit for saying I never played Pokemon, so I played some Pokemon games. But then all of a sudden you're discredited. But the second you can openly, without feeling ashamed or anything like that, say like, well, I never played Metroid Prime. I never played any of the Metroid Prime games, 1, 2, or 3. That's the truth, actually. I've never played them. Then all of a sudden it makes me less credible as a Nintendo enthusiast, right? No. It's just, and it's not because the game's bad. It's because it came at a certain time in my life where the other things were happening or whatever. And once we're able to admit these sorts of things and feel okay and not feel like we're going to be judged, that's where that extra level of recognizing that we don't know everything. And once you recognize that you don't know everything, then that automatically puts you into a space where you can go, wow, now I have things to learn. Now I have room for growth and development. And that's so important when you're a creative person, because there is no creative person. I mean, maybe there's a few weird success stories, but there's very few creative people on this planet, high level, high functioning creative people who will tell you they know everything. Because it's not. You don't become a successful creative by saying you know everything, because or thinking you know everything. Because there's so much room for learning new things and growth, and like the need to want to learn is like number one priority when it comes to being an incredibly creative person, because you can't create without learning things. It's just the nature of creating, whether it's music or film or video or writing or whatever. You just can't. And so I think that's, long story short, that's probably like the worst advice that I ever heard. And it wasn't even really advice, to be honest with you. It was just like, it was disappointing for me to hear that sort of thing. As far as like the worst advice, God. I think that the worst advice that I've ever gotten is something that it's multiple things, but they're all things that I don't know yet if it's the worst advice that I've ever gotten. Right now, I think it's the worst advice. I could be wrong though, because I could be proven wrong. Like, I think fracturing my channels is bad advice, personally.
Okay.
But everybody's told me I should.
Yeah.
You've told me I should. Matt tried to convince me that I should. Like, everybody has told me that's probably the best move is like, you should have a second YouTube channel where you just do vlogs and you just do gardening. And like, there's been plenty of times where I'm like, yeah, I guess I probably should do that.
Yeah.
And but like, my instinct is like, no, I don't want to fracture my audience. I want people to come to the one channel because they like watching what I like.
Yeah.
They like sharing in the experiences that are like the Addams family, whether it be taking a trip to Tahoe, taking a trip to the game store, or one of many things. I don't want you to have to go here to watch this and here to watch this and there. Like, I want it to all be in the same place. Now, I understand that it's going to halt like growth and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
What's up, Matt? Where'd you come from?
And that's what
we were just talking about you.
That's I think you're right. I think for you've been breaking a lot of these quote unquote normal rules that everybody else follows. But I think it still comes down to what your
whoever asked that
goals are, right? It comes down to what you're trying to do, and if that's not what you want to do, then I don't think you should do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think though, I still stand by, I think it would be a really fun experiment just to try.
So that's the hardest thing for me is I do I do believe you're right.
Yeah.
I do believe that I believe that it would be a good experiment.
Yeah. Just like because, a 3-6 months experiment.
Yeah. Yeah, like a 6-month deal to see. It would be a very fun experiment, but this is how my brain works. This will be my final thought.
Yeah.
This is how my brain works. I'm sorry, but I'm being honest. It would feel to me like I am like letting my community down, and it would feel to me like I'm experimenting on my children. And for some reason it just doesn't feel good. It feels like I would be like it feels like I'd be like, well, what happens if do we really need our pinky toes? The little baby toe? Do we really need those? I'm gonna go upstairs and cut Crosby's off and see what happens. Like, that's I know that's extreme. Okay, I know it's extreme.
Yeah,
but like that's sort of how I feel with all of you guys who are like, well, like Michelle, she loves the garden stuff. Like, I don't want her to have to go to a different channel to watch the garden stuff or to watch the vlogs. Like, do the vlogs get less views? Yeah, the vlogs get less views because less people are interested in it because, a good majority of my viewership on YouTube, the algorithm knows me as like, the old video game guy, which, could the vlogs get more views if they were on a channel that were dedicated to like Topher A vlogs? Yeah, probably. They would probably find a vlogger audience, but I don't want a vlogger audience. I want an audience that's coming to hang out with us.
I think my main thing here is that I don't even know, honestly, if the vlogs would get more views. They probably would. But I think the bigger thing is that a more focused Topher gaming, retro gaming, that kind of channel would get probably a lot more views if there wasn't these other interspersed videos that didn't interest the general population as much.
Yeah. So I want you guys all to know that I could full sprint a marathon. I could. I'm capable of it. But every couple miles, I stop, walk a little bit, take a drink of water. I just want you to know that.
Set. Okay. Great. All right. Any other questions that are not about Chris's other social media presences?
No? Yeah, the OnlyFans account. Yeah. That's what Dylan's interested in. He's going to be the face of that one.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. What I meant to say, he's going to be the feet of that one.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. Man, make what you want to make, play what you want to play. There you go.
Is he going to have a pinky toe in those, though?
Missing. No. Okay. No. Well, I don't mind experimenting on him.
Okay. Maybe one
Chop
of
his
each.
fucking arm off. Like, okay. You know what I mean? Let's just see. He'd be good. He'd be a good one to experiment on, to be honest. I think that's probably fine. But I don't want to do it to my children. Sure. And I certainly don't want it to happen to Michelle. That's what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm ready for the gardening content. Are you? Dill Dog, at your service. Which one would you like first?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We also
need to be researched.
We also need you to sign this waiver here really quick first.
Yeah.
We're gonna send
please. It over. Yeah. You want a toe? I could get you a toe.
All right.
Well, yeah. If you guys don't have any other questions, that'll be it for tonight. And we're gonna be over on the Discord, chatting.
We already are on the Discord, so.
Well, we are on the Discord already. Yeah. Totally. Hey, just to give a Garbage Pail Kids throw out there, it's toe time. That is a quote from Ollie Gator. No, nobody probably saw the Garbage Pail Kids movie, but man. Excellent to each other. Thank you, Darren. Yep. Oh, what you got, dude? Saying goodnight? You going to bed already?
I'm about ready for bed already.
Yeah, I know, dude. I've been waking up super early, man. All right, buddy. Sleep good, okay?
You too.
Love you.
All right.
Stream only hat. Taking my last one? Bro.
Ooh.
You can have it. Go ahead. You can have it. I won't tell Mom. Unless she's watching this.
Uh-oh.
All right. Hurry up. She's watching this. I'm going to get in trouble. Get out here. All right, guys. Appreciate you. GPK roll call? All right. 1 pack. Only because I have it down here. All right. Real quick. With the M64, right. Do I have any recommendations for third-party controllers? Mod Retro. It takes regular 64 controllers.
Is that
got modern art
considered a third-party controller for the Mod Retro Chromatic or for the M64?
No, I guess not. But it is a third-party Nintendo
From
64
a Nintendo.
controller. Yeah. Also, it's totally takes a regular N64 controller. So, Bruin Bruno. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know, fucking Bruno Mars. Can't stand that guy.
Oh, that's where you're going with that. Okay.
Right?
Honestly, I was just talking to my wife about Bruno Mars the other day because he came out with that new video, the new song. I don't know if you've seen it, but I just find it fascinating that guy is just living in the 70s.
Yeah.
And he's as popular as he is. Like,
I find it fascinating that man just takes other people's songs and remixes them.
I mean, that's also fair. I
got
think,
nothing against Bruno. He's
No.
probably a fine guy, but
Yeah.
like,
that is an interesting person right there.
Yeah,
I would
it is.
love to watch a 2-hour documentary on him.
Yeah, like how, or the mod of 8-bit do conversion. That's what I would recommend actually. So 8-bit do, what are 8-bit do, 8-bit do? I think it's 8-bit do because it's supposed to be like Nintendo.
Oh, I've
That's
always
how I heard it.
8-bit do, but
that's how I've always said it. But then I heard somebody in a video the other day say that the company was named because of Nintendo.
I mean,
so it's 8-bit do.
I mean, I guess that
But
makes
also, I
sense.
recently found out that like it's a lot of the same people behind Analog, and so it made me a little more disappointed, to be honest with you. But yeah, the 8-bit do conversion kit is fantastic. That's what I have in. I thought I had it sitting here. Dr. Mod and I have done a bunch of those conversions. So yeah. Bruno Mars. Yeah, that Uptown Funk is gonna funk you up, Game Slayer. But don't worry, it funked up like 5 other artists before him. So.
All
right. Well, that's it for tonight, guys. Join us on the Discord. Appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow night here on Twitch with I don't know, Arc Raiders? Probably. Matt, are you still here?
Sounds about right.
It's really going to depend. It's really going to depend on whether or not Matt's here. Was it Sweet Ropes? You said you're really enjoying? Yeah, it's the Sweet Tart Ropes, yeah. Yeah, Matt's still here. Are you playing tomorrow night? Are you down? Because that's probably the only way I'm gonna play Arc Raiders. If not, like, because then Sunday will be a cozy stream, maybe. I don't know. I gotta talk to the missus. Who knows? But come tomorrow night. We'll have fun. We do have a sub goal still.
Sub goal.
And yeah, the sub goal. When we hit that sub goal, it's gonna be a Steam Deck giveaway.
Ooh, that's fun.
Steam Deck giveaway. All right, guys, we appreciate you.
All right. Have a good night.
We'll see you tomorrow night, or we'll see you right now.